Hi, it's Miss Rose. Today we're going to do a lesson about graphs by Sarah Pistoia. Screen. A graph is a way of keeping track when we sort and count things. It lets us see quickly how many things we have. It helps us compare numbers of different things too. Like how many crayons of each color do we have? Let's use a graph to see. We can lay out the crayons just as this picture graph shows. Now we can see how many crayons of each color we have. It's easy to see we have more red crayons than yellow or green crayons. So if we look, we have 7 red crayons. This line is longer and higher than these 2 lines, so we have more red crayons. Are there fewer yellow crayons than green or red? Let's count. So we're counting the yellow crayons. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 yellow crayons. So let's see, we have 5 green and we have 7 red. We have fewer or less yellow crayons than green or red. Let's turn the page. What can we say about the fruit in this bowl? What would we like to do to learn more? How could we show others what we learned? Let's sort, count, and graph. First, sort the fruit by kind, then count how many there are of each kind. Then we can make a graph. Let's compare the different fruits by looking at the graph. 4 words will help us: fewer, most, least, and more. Do we have more apples or oranges? Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 oranges. And how many apples? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 apples. So there are more apples at 5 than there are oranges at 4. Do we have fewer pears or bananas? So fewer is another word for less. Do we have less pears or bananas? So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 pears. And how many bananas? We have 1 banana. So we're looking for the least or less, which is 1. We have fewer bananas. Of which fruit do we have the most? Well, let's see. We have 4 oranges, 3 pears, 1 banana, and 5 apples. Which one is the longest or the biggest? Apples. We have the most apples. Of which fruit do we have the least? Let's look. So we're looking for the smallest. So it's not 5, it's not 4, it's not 3, it's 1. 1 banana. We have the least amount of bananas. Okay, let's turn the page. We can make a graph of this cookie jar too. What would you like to find out about them? Would you like to know which kind has the most or which kind has the least? Let's find out. This bar graph has pictures on one side. The pictures show the different kinds of cookies. As we count each cookie, we shade a square in the row. The numbers across the bottom show how many we've counted. Okay, so the bar graph can help us answer lots of questions. Were there more striped cookies or chocolate chip cookies? So let's look. We're looking at striped cookies. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 striped cookies. And how many chocolate chip? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have, are there more? Which is more, 7 or 8? We're looking for the bigger number, the longer number. 8 is more than 7. There are more chocolate chip cookies. There were more fudge cookies than butter cookies. But how many more? Okay, so let's use this graph to find out how many more. So we look at the pictures. Here are the fudge cookies, and here are the butter cookies. How many more is the difference? Let's subtract and find the difference. So we're here at 3. Let's count up to the fudge cookies. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 more fudge cookies than butter cookies. Wow, there are more chocolate chip cookies than any other kind. That's the most. Let's turn the page. Here is another bar graph. This one tells us about jelly beans. The bar for the red jelly beans ends on square 8. The bar for the green jelly beans ends on square 4. Look at the graph. How many more red jelly beans than green jelly beans are there? Let's count the difference. Let's subtract. So we're going from green to red. So let's count up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 more red jelly beans than green. We have the same number of black and yellow jelly beans. So this graph is an easy way to show which has the most, which has the fewest, and which are the same. And we can also count the difference between 2 different types of jelly beans. That's why graphs are important. A line graph is another kind of graph. We can use it to keep track of something over a period of time. Like, how does this baker keep track of the bread he sells each day? He can use a line graph. Let's turn the page and see how the baker keeps track of the bread he sells. The purple line is for the bread the baker sold last week. On which day did he sell the most? Well, let's look. The most is the tallest up top. Let's look. On Friday. Friday, he sold 70. On which day did he sell the least? Okay, so least means less, the smallest amount of all of them. So let's go and see which is the shortest. Here is Monday. Monday, he sold the least. The baker's best day was Friday. He sold 70 loaves that day. So this is an easy way to tell information quickly. The school nurse uses graphs too. Her graphs keep track of how many students she has seen. A teacher can use a graph to show students how well they are doing in class. Graphs are useful tools for many people, no matter what they sort or count. Okay, so we're finished with that story. There are some ways that you can graph things at home. If you could use grid paper or even draw pictures on a piece of paper, you could keep track of the weather, like make a column for sunny days, cloudy days, rainy days, snowy days, although hopefully the snowy days are over. There's a lot of different ways that you can keep graphs. Or if you have a bag of jelly beans, you can count the jelly beans and graph the colors of the different colors. You could do a line graph, a bar graph. And that concludes our lesson for today, graphs. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you next time.